At some point in your fountain pen journey, as you begin to accumulate fountain pens in your collection, and that collection may be just a few pens, a handful of pens, it may be a few drawers full of pens. During that journey, sometimes you get pens that you thought would really be nice, that you're going to love this pen, and the descriptions and all that you read on the internet just sounded right, and just the looks of it is like, yeah, that looks like it could be a winner. And then you get the pen and very disappointed. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work for you. It doesn't feel right. It's just one of those pens if it stayed in your pen drawer for the rest of your life, that'd be just fine. Thankfully, at least in my case, those pens are few and far between. Most of my pens are in the category, this middle category, that are nice, that I enjoy, that are nice writers. I'm always glad to be able to pick them up and write with them, and I could be very satisfied with those. But once in a while, you get a pen and you're hoping it's going to be good, and it is. It's one of those pens that's just hard to put down. It's one of those pens that as you rotate through your pens, when it comes back time to use that pen, oh man, you're like, yeah, it's time. And so today I'm going to be looking at Asvine P36 Titanium. Now this pen comes in two models, comes in the titanium and a brass-like finish, brass-looking finish. It's not actual brass, but this one supposedly is real titanium. Now it's going to be a thin layer of it, whatnot, probably. But anyway, you know, everything I could find out is that this is pure titanium, not the nib, but you know, the metal parts there. So this is one of those pens that I've been able to buy, and that every time it comes time to use it, I am very glad, because this pen just works. Okay, let's head on over to the table and take a closer look at this, perhaps a Grail pen. Okay, here we have the Asvine P36 Titanium. This retails for around $45. That's what I paid, with the Asvine nib, and $55 with a Bach nib. And I'll talk a little more about the nibs here in a little bit. All right, the ink that is in here is Monteverde Sweet Life Iced Cookie. Just kind of a cool looking ink. Again, the materials are titanium, and as far as I can tell, they are real titanium. Now, some of these components would have like a thin layer maybe over some brass. I don't know. But anyway, it's not full titanium, thus you're not going to be paying the price of a full titanium pen, like say the Inso titanium. But you got some components. Obviously, this insert here for the piston mechanism, that's probably just stainless steel maybe. But yeah, the rest of it, I believe, as far as I could tell, it's real titanium. And then of course you have the acrylic inside, and then the plastic or rubber piston part there. So the shape of this pen is basically a cigar torpedo / torpedo shape, and it really doesn't taper much until you get down to here, and even there it's not a whole lot. So it's pretty straight. In fact, if anything, maybe it expands just a tad. But and then on the cap, you got a taper. It's slight, but it's pretty much from the band all the way to the finial, the cap finial. The clip is the mount is a washer type, a washer style of attachment. You can get in there and you can see how this is a solid piece of material, and then it is riveted some way or screwed in. The tension on this is almost, pretty close to perfect, because it's easy enough to get over light shirts. You probably don't even have to pull it, but it's also has enough tension that it's gonna, once it gets there, it's gonna hold it there. The interesting note is, I'm looking at this, when you, at least in my case, when I cap this pin, this nib's either going to be showing this way or this way. It's not going to be flat facing up, and some people may have a hard time with that. I did it first because it just didn't seem right, but as I'm looking at it, yeah, okay, now you can see the nib as it's sideways there. So the cap is threaded, and it takes 2 rotations. So that's kind of a downer for me. I like 1 rotation, or 1.5 maybe, but anyway, it's 2 rotations. The filling system, obviously, is a piston system. The nib is a number 6 size, and this particular nib is a medium point. It has a, get in here, it has a decorative border, and below the breather hole there is a M in a circle, or an A. I'm thinking it must be an A, but it's kind of looks like an M as a 1 letter or whatever type of logo you want to call that, because underneath that is the Asvine script logo. On this nib, there's no markings unless it's inside the feed housing, but it is a medium. These, one of the really nice aspects of this pin is that Asvine offers 7 different choices, but the way they break it down is you can either get an Asvine nib or a Bach nib. The Asvine nib comes in extra fine, fine, and medium. The Bach nib comes in extra fine, fine, medium, and broad. So really, they went beyond what a lot of Chinese pin companies are doing as far as what they are offering. Is this pin postable? Yes, it is. Now, it's going to be on the inside, that's plastic, and it's going to ride right on this metal here. So it does post, but I wouldn't post it with a lot of pressure. Now, as I have it on there, it posts securely in your hand, but it is long and it is back weighted. When you see the size comparisons, it really is noticeable. So I really don't see how anybody would be able to write with that thing, with this pin posted anyway. But nevertheless, it has plenty of weight and length to it that writing unposted is fine, and then you can just use the cap as a fidget. The colors for this, they only have one, and it is titanium. Alrighty. I will now transition into a list of the specs on this pin, and then we will go into a writing sample. We have the Pilot Custom 823. We have a Diplomat Excellence A and a Lamy Safari. Here they are uncapped. And here they are posted. And as you can see, this Asvine is long. And a writing sample of the Asvine P36 titanium. Medium nib. And the ink is, I'm going to abbreviate, Monteverde Sweet Life. And this is iced cookie. Something about this color I really like. I think I got some kind of special deal on these inks. There's 3 of them, and I went for it, and yeah, I don't regret it, especially this color. All right. No skips, no hard starts, very smooth. Reverse writing. Reverse writing 2 is surprisingly smooth, and it keeps up. Let's see. Moderately wet nib. Let's see, what else can I say? Let's see, line variation. Yeah, you can eke some out. Overall, I think you know what I'm going to say. I'm going to give this a smiley face. All right, I'll be back with some pros and cons and some final thoughts on the P36. All right, pros and cons on the P36. The only con I could really come up with was the 2 turns on the cap to get it on and off. I did notice when I was doing the size comparisons that the Pilot Custom A23 it wasn't 2 turns, but it was about 1 3/4. So even your expensive pens sometimes can have a lot of turns. As far as pros, I like the titanium material. It's just a cool look to it. I kind of like the metal looks sometimes too. And then you have the clear acrylic that shows off the nib. Now on the P30, which is the kind of a brass cousin to this pen, even though it's different, the grip is different and that. But anyway, all this is not plastic. It's not transparent. So you have the transparency, so you can still see the grip and the nib there, and then you have plenty of room, window room there for your ink, and you can even see it in the channel. It's just a nice looking pen. You put whatever other color you want in there, and so I really like it. The titanium, the style in general, and the nib. The nib is very nice. I got the medium. It is a very smooth writing nib, and boy, I don't regret getting this one at all. So all that to say is maybe this doesn't fit or wouldn't fit your definition of a Grail pen, but in my opinion, it is definitely one that you would want to get. The size, if you like a little bit more girth, it's not overwhelming, but it's got plenty. 10 at the narrowest, 10 millimeters on the grip, 13 millimeters on the body. it just fits. You got a number 6 nib there, so the angle's not that bad, and it's not like a number 5 where your angle has to go up. Yeah, so if you like that, if you like a little bit of weight but not a ton of weight, again, the body is only 19.5 grams. Let's call it even 20, and that isn't that much. I mean, this pin, and I do believe that using the acrylic, the clear acrylic, really helps in the weight. So you keep the metal design and that cool aspect, but then you lessen the weight with the acrylic. And boy, that was just smart, because there's some other pins like the Inso has a titanium pin that, boy, I was tempted to get, but you know, it was just the weight of the pin. I didn't hold it, but just the number, I can't remember how much it was. I think it was 39 grams, 39 grams, just the body. So, but this has a perfect weight. So, you know, if you like a larger pen but not too big, a lighter pen but not too light, something that's different, it's got some class, it's got some cool factor to it. The Asvine, you can't go wrong with the Asvine P36. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day.